I talk to veterans all the time, and they're like, well, I just feel like I don't deserve it. I didn't do anything. I'm like, but you served this country, so you do deserve it. Whether you got deployed or whether you stayed back in the rear D and you were sitting on a computer and you were out in the motor pool and you had to go to the field, you still deserve it. Everybody has their own experiences in these things. Don't break it.
Hey. All right. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your name, what you've done in the past, and then how you landed here in Warrior Legions?
Yeah, of course. My name's Amanda. In the past, I was actually in the military for a little bit, and then I got out and I landed a job at a nonprofit organization called Veterans Nonprofit. It was local here. I worked there for a little bit, helping service veterans, and we were helping them with food, clothing, clothes for the resumes and like jobs or whatever the case may be. It actually closed down, and I ended up working at EPCC, and I was helping veterans with their schooling benefits, so utilizing their schooling benefits properly. So I worked there for a while, and then I worked jobs in and out, and then I came across Warrior Legions, and I applied, and come to find out, this is my forever home.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about what inspired you to work at Warrior Legions? I know you said that they closed down.
Yes.
Your other job?
Correct.
And I think we had talked before. You told me something about you knew David somehow.
Correct. So David actually used to volunteer at Veterans Nonprofit, and he would just come in and help in the food pantry. I never knew that he was like the CEO. I just knew that he was there volunteering because we always had companies come and volunteer with us. My journey started even before that. When I was younger, even in high school, I would go to what's called Wreaths Across America, and I went to funerals for veterans without families. So we would go to their funerals when they would pass away and stuff. So my journey started way before I even joined the military, way before I even got to El Paso. So I've been servicing veterans for a long time.
That's cool. And then you joined the military. How long were you in the military for?
I was in the I just did my contract. So I did the 3.5, 4 years. I just did it, got it out of the way. It was really out of the blue. I wasn't expecting to join the military. I woke up one day, I was in Arizona, and I said, I'm going to enlist. And I don't know. As soon as I turned 18, I took off and I ended up in El Paso.
So where you from?
I'm from California.
Oh, wow. Okay, awesome. A long way from home, huh?
Yeah, it is pretty far.
Can you tell us what you do here at Warrior Legions?
Yeah, of course. So I am an intake counselor. I went through the whole process, actually. So I started CCS, client care specialist, and now I'm intake counselor. But I work really one-on-one with the veterans, getting all the information that we need, finding, the service connections, even the secondary conditions with them, and sending up, coming up with strategies with them so they can get a better or a bigger or a higher rating. So that's what I pretty much do. I help them and walk them through the process. We have questionnaires, stuff of that nature with them. I really just guide them through the process so it's smooth, so we can go ahead and get that packet created for them.
What is something that you've seen in the past that has helped veterans?
Right. So organization, having everything prepared. They have accessibility to our website, so they know kind of what they're going to need. So having their DD-214 ready, or having their decision letters or in their rating breakdown, and any evidence that they might have that they want to add in their packet, it helps to have that all together, be organized. I know sometimes it can be hard to navigate the systems like the VA.gov and the VA.gov app. Those can be really hard to navigate, especially for the older generation veterans. But that's what we're here for, to walk them through it, because it really is that simple of giving the VA a call and saying, hey, I need my decision letters, and they'll send them to you. But a lot of people don't know that, or they don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I mean, there's different people in different stages, obviously.
Right.
And some of them, obviously, some of the people don't have the ability to be able to get access to that,
Right.
because they weren't in the military when they opened up those programs. What are some of the biggest cases, like, what is the biggest jump of VA claims that you've seen? Is it, 0 to 100, 50 to 100? What is it that you've experienced?
So I seen somebody was at 50% and they went to 100, but it was actually a crazy story that how she got to her 100. The VA actually made a mistake in her decision, and they gave her a 0% on something, and they weren't supposed to, according to her doctor's DBQ and everything. And she was so upset because she's like, I just want 100%. You know, it's life changing. She wanted that 100%. And I was like, I don't understand what's going on. Until I took that time and I broke it down and I looked at the decision letter and I was like, wait a minute, they messed up. And I was like, we're going to fix this. And we had to end up doing a higher level review. And now she's, you know, waiting for that decision back. But it's going to be like the easiest decision ever. And she'll get that 100. And that's a big jump for her. And she's, you know, she's been through a lot too. So it's like, she's like, oh, I can't, I'm so happy. Like, thank you guys so much. I would have never caught that. And I was like, no, that's our job. You know, that's what we're supposed to be doing. Looking at all the stuff and making sure, double checking our work to make sure, because the VA does make mistakes like that all the time.
And what happens when there's a mistake like that? Do they have to wait a long time? Do they have to resubmit?
So they won't resubmit. We'll submit like a higher level review. So it won't be a brand new claim. It's just appealing what the VA had said. And it's black and white right there. And that's what we'll do in that packet. We'll tell them, well, you said that she didn't have XYZ, but right here in her DBQ, it does say that. And so we're just kind of going against the VA, like putting them in that corner, like, hey, fix your mistake. And they do make mistakes a lot. And they'll come back and they'll tell veterans, oh, I messed up on that. And then they'll go take it back and they'll defer it, or they'll reopen the claim because they realize that they made a mistake. But luckily we caught it before they did.
What are some of the misconceptions that are happening with veterans that whenever they're getting their paperwork, you know, lined up so they can send it, and they end up having to do more work at the end of the day because they don't have the correct paperwork? What are some of the misconceptions that veterans have when they come to you?
A lot of the misconceptions that they have, I would say one of them, they think it's going to be super, super just easy and quick. It can be. I mean, it's not going to take years and years like some of them have gone through. But if we have the right documentation, we get your questionnaires done, you give us what we need, we do the rest. And sometimes they're like, well, I don't know where that's at. I can't find it. Or I tried to find it. I don't know. You know, they run into those problems, or they're just so busy with life. You know, this is hard. We're doing all the heavy lifting for them. We're creating the entire packet for them. And, you know, they're still going on with their lives while we're doing all of that. And that's what we try to make them understand. Like, if you did this on your own, where would you have the time? Would you even have time? You have a job, you have a family, you have kids. Let us do it for you. Just give us that documentation so we can help you.
I do have a lot of friends that it's taken them years, you know, and some of them to go from 0 to 100 is taking them, some of them 10, 15 years, just because they put something in, and the VA is just like, you know, we need this paperwork,
Right.
you know what I mean? So I think it's very important that they come here with the right paperwork. Is there somewhere they can go in our website to check?
Yes. So after, you know, they do talk to somebody, even before they even talk to somebody and they get assigned to one of our leads or our teams, they can go into their portal. As soon as they create a portal, they have access to all of it. And there's actually a questionnaire in there. It says a questionnaire, upload initial documents. It gives you examples, like full-on examples of what we are looking for. And obviously, if they don't have it, they don't have to turn it in. But it helps them, and it makes them see, like, oh, that's what my DD2 needs to look like. That's what the decision letter looks like. That's what the rating breakdown looks like. Because there's so many variants with the VA. They give you the outrageous things. You're like, what is this? Why are you sending me this? That's not what I asked for. So it helps because they're like, I don't know what I'm looking for. And I'm like, I get it. Because the va.gov website is not user-friendly at all. I don't like it. I recommend to all my veterans to use the va.gov app because it's so much easier. But a lot of people, you know, they don't have accessibility to phones or smartphones like that nature. So, I mean, it makes sense. But like I said, you can always go to the VA and ask them, hey, can I have all my decision letters? They're like, yeah, I can do that for you.
Now, is there something that you've experienced? I know that you said you were in the military.
Mm-hmm.
Are you 100%?
No, I'm not. I'm working on it.
You're working on it.
Yeah, I am working on it, but I'm at 70%.
So you started the process yourself?
I did, and I don't know how I ended up at 70%. It was just crazy. I literally was throwing anything at the VA. Like, I don't even know how many claims there was, different variants of one claim, and they were just like, deny, deny, deny. And then I woke up one day and I was like, whoa, 70%, but I don't know how I got there. I really don't. I just was claiming whatever at that point, and it took a long time. I think I submitted my claim in 2019, and I didn't get actually rated till like 2021. So it took a long time.
So now that you're here, are you going through that process again? Are you doing something towards that?
Yes, I am actually working towards my 100%. And coming here, I have the realization, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of things that I could have claimed that I didn't claim. All the secondary conditions, and I was like, wow. I would have never known that.
Can you go a little bit in detail what a secondary claim is?
Yes.
Or condition, I'm sorry.
Yes. So it's a secondary condition is a condition that you have because of a main condition. So like, let's say PTSD. I have PTSD. I am rated for PTSD. I have headaches secondary to my PTSD. So it's something that I have created or I have now because of my main claim of the PTSD. So those would be considered secondary conditions. And you can do them with a lot of different things. Like my hip's hurting, so it's secondary, my knee, stuff of that nature. And it just keeps going down. There's a lot of secondary conditions.
What other tricks that we can do here and help them get their process go a little bit faster? What do you think that some of those tricks can be for them, for our audience?
I think one in particular is just trusting the process and trusting in us. We're the professionals, right? Like we know this. We know the process like the back of our hand. And most veterans come here and they're like, I've been fighting this for 10 years. Let us do it, let us do it. Let us get it done for you. Just give us that paperwork. So the biggest thing that we want or ask for is if we ask you for something, it's because we need it. Or just come ready. Here, this is all I have. If you literally come in here, veterans send it all to us, they're like, this is all I have. And they upload it. I promise you we'll sit there and go through everything and find what we need. That's fine too. Just stay organized, have everything there. Even if it's you've talked to the VA, always keep record of everything because we know how the VA can be. Keep record of everything. Keep files. Make sure that you are staying on top of your appointments. That is very important, especially for your claim process. If you're trying to claim something in particular, don't miss your appointments. That's very important.
Yeah, that is one of the biggest ones. I feel like for veterans, we're so used to thinking that like, oh, I'll go back and get it, but that really slows things down.
Yes.
when it comes to claims. It is crazy how a lot of people come in here and they're like, oh, I can probably get it somehow, and a lot of the times, if you don't have those records,
yeah,
you're pretty much screwed,
Right.
So it's important that people stay organized. They have everything. I think when I got out, I made some copies of my medical records while I was in the military.
Right.
You get me? I wish I would have made more. What are some? Can you tell us another case that you thought it was like, wow, it was really fast? What's the fastest you've seen here?
There was one case, he went in, he was going for conditions, and he got accepted. It was probably within a month. And I was like, whoa. And it didn't get him to 100, so he's working on his 100 now, but it got him to 90%, and it was a big jump. I was like, how? It's because he was submitting to the process. He was on top of it. He submitted his, documentation. He went through his questionnaire. He went to our doctors. He went to his CMP exams, and he got, he went through his hot seats with us. He submitted to the entire process. He had no problem with it. He followed through with everything, and he was done.
Wow.
It was one of those rare cases where it was just quick.
Was he at 0?
No, he was I think he was at 40%.
Still a big jump.
Yeah, it was a huge jump. And he was like, this is changing my life, but I'm going for that 100. I'm like, yes, you are.
Yeah, for sure. It's something that a lot of people don't think they can claim. You get me? They don't
Right.
feel like they deserve it.
Yes.
And that's a lot of the things that I've seen here is they're always asking are you sure I can do that? I'm like,
Yeah.
That's what's there. It's there for you.
Yeah, no, and we see that a lot too. I feel you still deserve it. Everybody has their own experiences in these things. Everybody witnesses and sees different things. Your experience wasn't the same as my experience in the military.
Exactly.
So we're all deserving because we committed our lives to this.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's important to remember that. And not only that, you're doing this for your family as well.
Right.
My kids they're going to college through the VA, through
Right.
the benefits. 100%, they're getting paid tuition. I'm like, wow, that's big help. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I think it's important people understand that being organized is number one, I think.
Yeah.
You can't expect people to do everything for you. We're not going to literally do everything for you. You do have to give us the paperwork, and there's
Right.
things that we have to fulfill. But everything's there for us, veterans, you get me? And for our families.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool that you're going through the process as well here, and that you're trying to make yourself, the front of your family and your your journey.
Right.
Exactly. So I think it's important people understand that they can come to us for everything, but it really is up to them as well.
Yeah, most definitely. It's always up to them. And some veterans like to put it off. They're like, no, I don't want to do it. And I'm like, if you just send us the documents, we'll get it out of the way. Like, you are losing out on money in your own pockets. We want you to win at the end of the day. We want you to win. It's almost $500,000 at 100% for 10 years. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's a crazy amount of money. Like,
Yes.
that's money that you're missing out on. And then the benefits on top of that. So, like, the healthcare benefits change, the schooling for your kids. Me, I'm thinking in the future. I don't have kids. So I'm like, well, if I get the 100%, my kids are set. You know, I'm already going to school. I'm using my
Yes.
GI Bill. So, but I'm like, you know, that's a big change in people's lives. And I think the veterans need to understand that. I think they're so out of tune sometimes, and they don't know how to get control back of their lives. And that's what we're helping with people. We're helping veterans get control of their lives again and feel secure, feel like they have the money, feel like they have the power in their lives, and that's important.
Yeah, it's a big part of life, to be honest, for veterans to feel that way and to know that they have, you know, people in their team as well.
Right.
Well, thank you so much for coming by and talking to us. I hope you have a good rest of your journey for your 100, and I hope that you continue to make big moves here.
Perfect. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you.